All right, welcome to the Compliance Weekly for the 3rd of May. And the first item of business is to walk the milestone board. Does anyone want to do that? Aaron, are you able to take on that one?
Just updating something else real quick, but yes, I can pull that up real quick.
Thank you.
Just a moment. There we are. And so share. Oh yeah, so get rid of my Slack. You go over there. All right. Over and slide this here. All right. So I was going back into the notes. We had a pretty small meeting a couple weeks ago. It was just me and Derek and Ilya. So I was trying to see if I remember to write down where we left off. Wait, is that 5/3? 4/25. That's right. 2 weeks. Oh, that's gosh, what I'm losing track of dates. Sorry. It was the 18th. That was the day. Okay.
Yeah, if you scroll down on the closed ones.
Okay, we'll just take a look at it here. Yeah, because exactly where we left off.
Right at the bottom. Keep going down.
Oh, right at the bottom. Oh, okay.
The last one we had was don't create API release. The next one.
Oh, okay.
The one up from that.
All right. So that is a couple from Ilya.
Yeah, so that was, there is a demo up on YouTube for this one, but in the streaming audit events, when you created a destination, it creates a verification token, and it used to have it just displayed in line. It's now in a pop-up which has a copy button and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier for users.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next one, I can do this one as well.
Okay.
Exactly. So in the compliance framework report, there is now quick actions to quickly. So previously in the report, you had to select a bunch of frameworks and then select a bunch of projects and then apply frameworks to them. You can now inline add a framework or remove a framework from a project. There is also a demo for that up on YouTube.
Okay. And next one is don't create group changes on events when there is no change. That was Hitesh. I think I verified this one, but it's pretty much what it says. We were kind of generating an extra audit event when we shouldn't have been. So that was verified as working now and closed. Or then allow filtering compliance violations by branch.
Yeah, so I can talk to that one as well. So Jose has spent a lot of time on the compliance violation queries to speed them up, to allow us to search by protected branches and a bunch of other stuff. So this was the actual front-end implementation that Ilya has done. So there is now a search button in the compliance violation report, and you can search by the branch that you want to find where the violations were happening. And there is also a demo of that up on YouTube.
And above that, error when trying to add new compliance framework to top-level namespace with premium subscription. Anyone know anything about this one?
Yes, this was a client bug that came in late last week. So because compliance frameworks are for Ultimate and for Premium, but Premium don't have the compliance pipeline. Right. So can't add. So when a Premium customer was trying to add a compliance pipeline, it was failing.
And We have group membership CSV export should say source descendant member for members in subgroups. I actually just verified this one as well. This was a case where it was working in the UI, but not in the CSV export. When you have a member invited into a group via a subgroup, the CSV export was still saying inherited member instead of descendant. That was fixed, verified, so that is all closed now. Update compliance frameworks, create and edit to use modals.
Yes,
Another
this
one,
was
yeah.
the final one from Alwyn, which is
Yes.
also part of the compliance framework report. So that when adding or editing a compliance framework, it now is in a modal so that we can reuse it in multiple places across the product, which is awesome. And again, another demo on YouTube.
Sweet. And I'm guessing this one is also related to that. All right. And the last one is streaming audit events to Google Cloud Logging. Any context on that one? Yeah.
That was just promoted to an epic now and has a bunch of issues inside of it. So nothing.
Gotcha.
It wasn't actually anything done there.
Okay. We got nothing. Verification. So go in review. Let's see. Sam, I probably have at least one in here. These are just the last few audit event tasks, the issues that I've been working on that are all still, they should be getting pushed through review now. I've already made a couple of suggested changes from reviewers. So I believe that will, I'll take a look at that. I've been kind of checking on those in the mornings and make sure we can push those to verification as soon as possible. But that one is, we had some talks with that about the user one, and we ironed all that out. So there's like 4 other smaller MRs in this one, but they're all in review. So so that one is going.
And I can just update.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, Nathan.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to update on Elliot and Sam's ones there. So.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to skip too far ahead.
No, so if you go down just a little bit, the create and edit on the framework report for Ilya, that is in the final stages of review as well and should be through shortly. And the export for the compliance framework report, the back end is in the final stage of review, and the front end, there is a draft MR up. We did have a question, I'm not sure if this group can help with, about whether we do the back end and the front end in the same milestone, and what's the best way to sort of guard the front end, because I know there was some discussions by Ilya previously around releasing both so quickly together.
Okay, and then the next couple are for Jay. So yeah, this one set the status back to pending on retry.
Yep, so that one was in review for a while. I just didn't notice the first reviewer was on PTO, so I just continued that. And then the other one also is in review, and I just moved update documentation for status checks and dev into review because that one's also now in review. So those 3 are in review, and hopefully will be closed off soon. And then yeah.
All right. Any more here in view anyone wants to talk about? Okay. Seeing what we have, it looks like Jay, you have, that was the one you just said is in review, so we can just move that over. Nathan or Nate, do you have anything to say about this one on the bottom?
Yeah, that was just a follow-up. So the error the bug that Josefa had fixed, this was actually disabling that field in the front end to make it, and I should have that MR out for review today.
All right. Do we want to discuss either of these in blocks? Just take a quick scroll down here through. Whoops. I don't know why the bottom scroll bar is always so tiny. I want to go across. or anything in planning or validation? This will be stuff that I haven't personally looked at for a while, but looks like that is all we have for now. Anything else?
The only other one that I wanted to ask, Jay, if there was an update on the group protected branches drop down for the user.
Oh, right. Yeah, for that one, because it's not listed on the board. So I spent some time pairing with an individual to try and figure out what was going on. I have a fix for it, but I'm running through scenarios because the view is shared by projects as well as groups. So I have to find a solution that will use Gone to pass if it's on the groups page rather than the project page, because there's no way to identify that right now. Yeah, I will hopefully have a draft MR for that today or tomorrow. I want to run the scenarios to make sure I'm not hiding the users for the other drop downs. The other areas that use it.
Yeah, that would be very important.
Yeah.
Cool. It's just that's the last piece of the puzzle for that, to be able to roll out that feature so we can sort of get it off the compliance group.
Cool. Yep, I'll get that.
Final. Okay, I think that's it.
Great, thanks for that, Aaron. The next item was the OKRs and progress and blockers. So it's Q2, started yesterday, the other day. So I've closed out all of the old OKRs and we had a roughly 82% average of completion across them, which was awesome. And I've added the Q2 OKRs, which I know everyone, I think, has put their hand up to be DRI for bits and pieces. So you should get pinged on those and we can discuss those privately if needed. But yeah, any questions? No. And the next one was, so yeah, the release evidence category has moved from the release stage to the compliance, well, to the govern stage and the compliance group in particular. So we're taking over this new category and I've created an issue here to help document everything and make sure that we're covering everything that we need to, like error budgets, unit tests, coverage, documentation, all that sort of stuff. So looking for volunteers to help, look through that work and get some, just make sure that it's got a proper handover, I guess.
Also, just to mention on this one, I'm not planning on too much work being done on this right now because Sam White and I were talking about this possibly being replaced by the attestations that the software supply chain working group is working on, rather than keeping this one around. So we'll see how that plays out. But right now, I'm not planning any actual development on it. The big thing to look for right now is probably the error budgets.
Perfect. Anything else from anyone? All right.
The only other thing that I mentioned it quickly in the channel this morning for me, that anything compliance and security related is moving into an AppSec section in our code base. So just heads up on that.
Can you add a note to the meeting agenda, just so I remember?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else? Otherwise, I'll stop the recording. Everyone wave at the camera.